I remember when Mr. Tuttley Putley came to this cafe shop for the first time. We became friends, and there she told me about her strange adventure that she had with moving here in Paris. When she left her old home, she did not know what to get, since every time she thought about leaving her hometown, she was more afraid than before. So she decided to take almost everything. One afternoon, she waited for the big train in the city. A name tag for her was exaggerate, but in truth, it was the largest train on earth because when she arrived at her station, her suitcase flew away. But in the end, she was able to put all her luggage in the car. She was fearful where she was sitting. All the passengers were comparing he said he was the strangest woman on the train, probably because of her dress or that her facial features were very particular to a common Frenchman. Miss Tutley lost her insecurity with the trip and found quite interesting people such as two, two men who live in their suitcase and playing chess. She told me that they only talk about and hear playing, but that the train moved the game. They simply accepted their destination in the game. Madame Dudley seemed the most interesting passengers in the car, unlike the others, like the boy who while his grandfather asleep from a long leg or read. At first, he seemed friendly, but his face and that book didn't make him look good as the children on his town, tender and cute.
Uh, well, that is my interpretation regarding the first minutes of the short film. I honestly wanted to do it better as a narration because it's difficult for me to simulate voice, and I think it's more according to the story or the director's intention. The story happens on a train, which pretends to be about how Miss Tutley takes a train and we live her adventure inside it, but it's more than that. Her story hides a message that is disguised in the characters and events that relate to our life, such as the suitcase that I interpreted as the things we had at birth, or nationality, family, economic situation. If there are health problems and these are different for each person because totally suitcase were heavier unlike other passengers. They were with two we only two other planes on the seat their suitcase with which they travel. In life, some have heavier suitcases than other people who carry them throughout their lives or try to lighten a lot or try to make it heavier. The characters are the people who get to see around us, like the chess players who represent the most conformist people and who hope that life itself solves everything. They only throw and as the train moves the game changes and sometimes one of them was luckier than another. The child represents indifference in the world. Sometimes we want to connect and be friendly, but there are more apathetic people than people who care about the people around them. The tennis player represents the evil in the world that always harm us, like this pervert who harass Madame Tutli, and that make us the most insecure because we lost confidence. Uh, the strange teeth represents the things that we cannot avoid. For example, the pandemic that we are living is a situation that has caused us many changes, more severe changes than those that Madame Tutli has, and these changes make you feel afraid. There enters another point of the shore. Tutli feels fear when he sees the warning of these thieves and feels how they are close to her and then steals when everyone is unconscious thanks to the poison gas. until he wakes up and sees that there is nothing and nobody. This means that surprise events make you more vulnerable than in the past. Everything is unknown, and on many occasions we are alone in the problem because the four contexts are different for each one. Returning to the example of the pandemic, each one of us takes this problem differently. For a doctor or nurse, it became one of the most dangerous jobs for infected people. For teachers and students, it's adapting to teach online, or many other people that in some way or another will definitely change their lives. Since my situation has made me face my fears directly, before I was probably the most irresponsible person on the planet, not being carefully know about my future and who I'm today, and with this situation it has made me see many things and made change in my person. Now we go to the meaning of the train. A train for Madame Tutli is what can be a chain of life for her because she is the most insecure and saddest of all the characters. For my interpretation, the train is life itself. I like that it stops in which we are traveling to a different destination. For some it is easier than others, but it's must the same characters, the chess players, the boy, the tennis player, the tips, and the mysterious mod at the end. I think my favorite scene is the robbery. That's the climax of the story, and Madame Tutli reflects something as human as fear is begins to run around the carriage without sense. It's the crowdest scene in our story. The mod are more than representing life. Represents a kind of guide of the people who loves you and always support you not to fall. Guide us on our way to the final stretch with this. What is meaning the story to take control of the train. He is the friendliest character in history because instead of affecting Madame Tutli's life, he made her less vulnerable by helping her. Mentioning about the desperate running through the cars is another symbol of fear. She is left alone, so she runs, looking for help, and petrifies her. Uh, in conclusion, I like the short film. It's a well-designed story that leaves a message that cannot be perceived with the naked eye. This story is more complex than others. I have seen a troll is mentioned similar in other productions. Pedro Almodovar's movie Pain and Glory comes to mind, one of my favorite films, where the protagonist, played by Antonio Banderas, is experiencing a severe crisis. He is one of the best directors in Spain, but illness and loneliness don't allow him to work passionately. What he does until the fact of meeting all love or remembering his childhood makes him remember many things and take his life again. Thank you very much. That will be my opinion and interpretation of Madame Tutli Putli.